Welcome everyone out to West Lawrence High School. We're here with head football coach Keegan McLean. And Coach McLean, you come off the first regular season game of the season. You kicked it off on the right foot, didn't you?
Yeah, it was a great way to start the season, to start the game with, AJ hooking up with Brent Carr for 80-yard touchdown pass. I mean, just a little 5-yard in. Brent made a great play, made a guy miss, and then, just outran everybody down the sideline. But definitely a good way to start the season.
Yeah. Coach, you look at that game and, if you compare it to last year, you're about the same score. I mean, you got a good opportunity to play a well-coached team, but still a young team, a growing team,
Right.
A lower-class team as far as region play. But, Coach, when you go out and you start out with the discipline of your team look very good. I was very impressed with the offensive line.
Right, yeah, I thought they did a great job all night. Felt like, our kids executed their assignments well. In any game we go into, we're looking for, alignment, assignment, execution, and effort. And I thought we did a good job in those 4 areas of the game. I thought we were able to get off to a fast start like you talked about, and that kind of opened the doors up for us to pull away early. I thought East Lawrence kids played really, really hard. I thought they fought the whole game. I think they're doing a great job over there. I know they were a young team this year, but I look for great things from them in the future for sure.
Yeah, we obviously wish them the best. But, Coach, in looking at that game now from the very start, it seemed to me like, and from what I remember, I think you had to punt one time. Was that the third quarter?
I can't remember how many times.
Yeah.
I know a couple times, we got stopped. I think we got stopped once in the first half and had to punt for sure.
Okay.
And then, they had a penalty that backed them up deep in their own territory on the punt return. But I'm not sure exactly.
Yeah, you didn't have to punt much.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so let's talk just a little bit about that kicking game because it was different. Not seeing Coop kick it in the end zone or at least shoot for that. You Pooch kicked quite a bit. I think he kicked one away, didn't he?
Yeah, we were working on the sky kicks a little bit this week. He's coming off injury, and he's been consistently kicking it to about the 10-yard line. And so we're kind of working with what he can do and what's going to be beneficial for us. If we can sky it down there and get teams starting drives on the 30, 35, we feel pretty good about that, rather than risk kicking one down to the 10 if they got a great returner and having them pop one and crossing midfield on us and kind of flipping that field early. So we're kind of working with what he can do right now and what works best for a game plan scenario.
Yeah. So you feel like with your defense, with the way you feel about them, that it's okay to give up maybe extra 15 yards, let them start at 45.
Well, I mean, I would love to, be able to kick in the end zone every play, but if we can't do that and they got a dangerous returner, I'd rather be safe and let's sky that thing and get out there and cover it.
Okay, so let's talk about the defensive side of the ball, Coach, just for a second now. Who was your outstanding player this week defensively, or could you pick one?
Yeah, well, several guys did a great job. Spencer Dacus was our alpha raider this week. He led our production points defensively. He had a great game. Had, I think, 7 tackles, several for loss, had a safety, had a sack. I mean, he did a really good job for us, really dominating that middle and shutting down the interior run. And for us to be good, that's what's going to have to happen every week. And he was flying around, hustling to the football, pursuing people. But several guys had good games. Dre Bonner played really well for us. De'Eric Jackson played really well. Daniel Lindo played really well. We had several guys that stepped up and did a good job on the defense side of the football.
Looks like you subbed that one of the inside linebackers pretty quickly, Coach.
Yeah, Devontae Royals had a little AC sprain early, and we pulled him out and we put in Jacob Holsey. And I thought Jacob played really well, did a great job being thrown into the fire like that. His assignments were good, his reads were good, and he was flying around. And he'll probably start this week. We'll make a game time decision on Devontae.
Yeah. So you got a little injury there, and at this point in the season, you just want to get him back healthy.
Right. With these non-region games, I mean, you want to win all of them, but the bottom line is you want to be healthy and peaking when region play starts, because those are the ones that matter as far as getting in the playoffs. So we'll make a game time decision, but if he's having any pain, any discomfort, we're going to hold him out and get him healthy and have him ready to go next week against Dodge.
Yeah. And how about your secondary? How'd you feel?
They did good. I mean, they weren't really challenged a whole lot. East Lawrence didn't throw the ball a whole lot, so we really didn't get a lot of work back there. Daniel Dorsey had a pass interference call. He was in good coverage. I made a little too much contact. There's some things we got to work on. But overall, I thought they did well. They weren't really tested, but they were in position. They were reading their keys, and they were getting downhill on the runs. They'll get a little more test this week. Chris County likes to throw it a good bit, so we'll find out, what we need to work on there coming this Friday.
Yeah. Yeah, you're probably looking at pressure first, right?
Yeah, we'd love to be able to get some pressure on them. That's the best pass coverage there is a sack.
Yeah.
So if we can get there and get to that quarterback, we definitely want to do that.
Yeah.
But they do some things offensively where we're going to have to be smart about a win and how we pressure.
Yeah. Let's flip it back over on this past week now, on this Friday night game, Coach, and look at the offensive line. Who's your standout there?
Really, several of those guys did a really good job. I would say, as far as effort, we're continuing to get great effort from Spencer Fields, our center, from Charles Knight, our left guard. Both those guys are really playing hard, getting after it. Technically, they're not perfect yet, but they're improving every week and doing a great job. But that unit as a whole, I mean, for offensive line to be successful, it's hard to pick out one or two guys. All five of them got to be working together in unison, working their combo blocks, chipping up to the second level, doing those things. There's not a whole lot of one-on-ones out there. But I thought as a group that they improved and did a great job this week.
Well, that was a game we covered, Coach, but we chose Mathis as, outstanding player, the player of the game for us. But if you look at him, and he did well, of course. Carr, caught several, looked really good. But, Mathis shared the love. Several people caught the ball.
Right, I think A.J. did a great job. He was our offensive player of the week as well. I thought he does a good job of reading the defense, taking what they give him, not forcing the ball to Brent just because it's Brent. If they're going to double up Brent or take him away, then we've got to be able to throw the ball to Tyler Franks and Bradley Wilson and Colby Ramsey and some of those other guys. And I thought A.J. does a really good job and did a really good job Friday of taking what East Lawrence was going to give him and moving the chains for us.
Yeah. Coach, when you look at Bradley, I just like to note that he's a load to bring down. He's strong.
He's a big boy, and he's worked hard in the weight room this offseason. He's a big kid. When we roll out there and we put, Brent Carr and Bradley Wilson and Tyler Franks out there, we've got three pretty big receivers that I think are matchup issues. May not be the fastest guys out there, but they're going to provide those matchup issues because they're so tall and they got those long arms.
Yeah, I loved you talk about Bradley being a big kid, working hard, that leg strength. That you can see it there because after point of contact, he's going to get you 3, 4, 5 more yards.
Yeah, we had several yards after receptions. There were guys who are catching the ball and they're breaking tackles and they're able to move the chains, because that's the difference a lot of times in extending a drive and having a punt. A guy catching a 5-yard hitch and then breaking a tackle and getting an 11-yard gain, and now we got a new set of downs. So it's important for those guys to be strong and to be physical, and I thought they were Friday for sure.
Yeah, and know where that marker is so important, isn't it, Coach?
Absolutely.
All right, so and you look at Franks, he had some good receptions, but also a younger kid, the Appleby kid, caught that one and after contact went in with it.
Yeah, Caleb Appleby, a JV kid who does get a little bit of Friday work. We subbed the JV in the third quarter, and they played the third and the fourth quarters. And, Appleby just caught a little 5-yard hitch there and then broke a tackle and then was off to the races and did a great job. He's a big physical kid, and he's really close to being a load for us and being a guy that could help us on Friday nights.
Yeah. Coach, any on that JV, any of the younger kids that came out there performed really well, you might want to take note of?
Well, definitely Caleb that we talked about did a great job for us at receiver. Defensively, Jathan Willis did a good job playing linebacker. Another young kid, a 10th grader, Keyshawn Walker, a 10th grade defensive end, made some tackles and had some good plays on defense. Javen Ash, who you saw mixed in with the varsity, he's a 10th grade outside linebacker, and he played really well as well. He's kind of pushing those varsity guys for reps with the first group, but he stood out too as well with that JV group. And Christian Coven, who's a varsity guy, but got some reps later in that, just to work some of those other running backs, because we got 4 or 5 that took the ball. Thought he ran the ball really well too.
Yeah, that was encouraging, wasn't it, Coach?
Absolutely.
Hey, we're going to take a short break and be back. Coach has some highlights from this past Friday night. We'll take a short break and be right back.
Good afternoon. Sit Up Dublin Natural Gas Department. Yvonne speaking. How may I help you? You're smelling gas inside your house? Eric, at 709 Bell Drive, they're smelling gas inside their house. Could you go check it out, please?
10-4, I'll be en route.
One of our service personnel is being dispatched. At this time, please evacuate your home and move to a safe destination away from the potential gas leak. Do not light a match, turn on any electrical switches or devices. Do not hang up your phone, place it down and leave. And please do not re-enter your home until a leak investigation has been conducted by our gas department.
Mr. Cates, I'm Brad. This is Eric. We're with the City of Dublin Gas. Are you say you called us about smelling some gas?
Yes.
Everybody outside? Well, what we're going to do, Eric's going to go to the side of the house, check the meter out, make sure everything's okay, nothing's running through the meter. I'm going to check around the door, and then we'll go inside and kind of see what's going on.
Okay.
Mr. Case, we went inside and checked around the ceiling, pretty much everywhere, all your appliances, and it looks like you're in good shape. The reason that we check up high around the ceiling is natural gas is lighter than air. It's always going to rise. We checked all your appliances. Absolutely nothing was indicated as far as gas leak goes. So I believe you're in good shape.
All right.
Ms. Case, we appreciate your business and being a natural gas customer. We're on call 24 hours, 7 days a week. If there's anything that you ever need, give us a call. We'll be more than glad to come out and check anything that you need.
Okay. All right. Appreciate that.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
All right. Appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm Heath Richter, and we just want to invite everybody to come on down to the Houston Clinic and check us out at our new facility. We've been in Dublin for a while now, obviously, but have a new office here, and we'd just like you to come down and see some of the new stuff we're offering. And if you need to get checked out, we'd be glad to do that for you. We've got able to do some ultrasound-guided injections now and physical therapy and just a little bit better space, so hopefully we can get you in and out of here a little bit quicker.
Come by and see us today at our brand new location, the Houston Clinic, Medical Drive in Dublin.
You've got miles and miles of grass to mow. So you're going to need a machine built to perform. Day in and day out. Season after season. You're going to need a Gravely. Built to mow the distance.
Now at Myers Equipment & Supplies in Dublin.
All right, welcome you back. Again, Coach had put together some highlights from this past Friday night, going to show us who performed really well. So we'll take it to the highlights now, Coach.
All right, starting off, a great way to start the game here. Brent Carr, catches a little 5-yard end for us and makes a guy miss. And that's what we talked about earlier, is making those yards after reception. A nice little move there, gets the sideline, and then it's just a foot race. And, there's a couple guys that have angles on them, but Brent does a great job of staying on that sideline and really digging and driving and getting to the end zone. That's just an outstanding way to start the 2019 season for sure. But he had a great night. He and A.J. got great chemistry, and it's good to see those guys being able to hook up and do some things for us. Defensively, I thought we did a really good job against their run game all night. Spencer Dacus in the middle there, just splitting a double team and wrapping up and making a nice play. And I thought also we did a really good job this week of pursuing the football. We really stressed that last week. Had a couple of loafs last week. I wasn't happy with that, but I thought we got a lot of white hats around the ball, a lot of blue jerseys around the ball. Guys really hustling. Their outside run game, great job again. There's Spencer running him down from the nose position, and you see you got pretty much the entire defense around the ball. And those are things we got to have if we're going to be good this year. Most teams are going to try and run the ball outside on us because we got Spencer and De'Eric in the middle. Forced a punt, huge play right here. Anytime you get a big play in special teams, it's great. And there's Spencer Dacus again blocking a punt. So he was all over the field early, and our guys do a good job coming up and getting on it and setting our offense up in great position. But a couple tackles for loss at a block punt in the first series, about as good as you can start on defense for one kid. But Spencer's our strongest kid in our program.
Got quick feet.
Right, and he's fast and physical and does a great job. Here, Daniel Dorsey makes a nice run. He's really emerged as our leading tailback right now. A big physical runner with some speed, makes great cuts, has great vision inside, bounces a run outside there and gets us down inside the 10. Here we'll come back and we'll run a little sprint out, and A.J. Really wasn't happy with the throw at first. It looked like he threw it into double coverage, but he gets it up in the right position where only Tyler can catch it, and Tyler uses those long arms and goes up and makes a nice grab for a touchdown. I know he was excited about that. But it's good to have those guys that can take a little bit of that pressure off Brent out there we can throw the ball to. Here again, defensively, thought we did a really good job in the run game. There you see T.J. Jones getting off a block, wrapping up good form tackle, just getting in the legs and grabbing. That's one of the things, we teach our guys is that we want them on the ground. We don't care about the big hit and all that necessarily. If you're one-on-one, break down, grab legs, and let the cavalry come and clean it up for you. And he did a good job there with the tackle for loss. Again, here, these most teams are going to try and get us outside. They come and sprint, and we lose contain. But then here comes Xavier Lewis. Great job there of breaking down and making that open field tackle, because that's really where you get hurt out in space, and you get one-on-ones, and a guy doesn't break down. Guy does a drive-by, and then it's a big game. But Xavier did a great job there with the tackle for loss. Coming back here again, AJ, nice throw and catch to Brent Carr. He's just a one-on-one matchup nightmare. The kid for East is in great position there, great coverage, and Brent just goes up and snatches a good ball out of the air, and we're going to need that. Get down close to the goal line. It's nice to have a couple running backs that can be physical and that can break it for long runs. We hadn't had that in a while. Shante Burney here makes a nice cut, turns the legs, runs over a couple guys, and gets the ball down around the 5-yard line. In the past, we'd block things up right and get 5 or 6 yards. Now we're getting those 15, 20, 30-yard gains because we got a couple explosive backs. Here's Shante Burney again, takes it in the end zone on the stretch, just gets the edge. Great blocking by the O-line, sealing the edge, and he goes in untouched. Defensively, again, several things we could have highlighted, tried to pick out a few. Here again, they're sprinting out on us. Good job, Daniel Lindo pursuing. Daniel breaks up, makes a nice play on the ball there. Thought he was going to get a pick there. A really good read by him seeing that, and really good job by our guys containing the quarterback because their kid's athletic. He can run when he gets out in space, and our guys did a good job of him in pretty much all night. I think he broke contain on us one time. Here again, he gets outside, looks like he's got some running room, and then Dre Bonner comes up, another great open field tackle, getting in the legs, rolling. We really teach that wrap and roll rugby tackle where you're staying low, getting in the thighs, rolling back. Safety, it's a good way to tackle, but also it's good for keeping guys falling forward for 3 and 4 yards. Again here trying to run the ball wide, great pursuit by our guys. You see all those hats getting the ball, and Xavier Lewis coming up, and Cam Robinson, a corner that got good reps for us, coming up and making a nice play. We're going to have speed on the edge because, like I said, with De'Eric and Dacus and those guys inside, teams are going to try and work us wide, and I thought that we did a good job of that against East Lawrence. Offensively, again, coming back, did a really good job, like you said, spreading the love around here. A.J. hitting Tyler on a quick hitch, and there's Tyler more yards after the catch, picking up 4 extra yards. There's a big difference in 3rd and 5 and 3rd and 1, and that was a second down play, and Tyler turns it into a 3rd and 1 for us. And you can pick those up. Now, 3rd and 5, a little tougher, but that was a great job by him. Here, Dorsey, again, another explosive run. Gets off the edge, gets behind his blockers. Offensive line does a great job. Makes a nice cut there. A kid missed, gets down the sideline. And that's what we need. We block things up right. We can't have 4-yard gains. We got to be able to break tackles and get out there and move the chains. I thought this was a huge series defensively for us. Great play right here. TJ squeezes, puts his hat on the ball, causes a fumble there. A ball pops up in the air right back to their guy. They recover it on the 1, but that play really sets up the next play where we're able to get a big safety in the end zone. Spencer Dacus just rips a gap here and beats everybody on the O-line and makes a nice play, wrapping up the running back in the backfield and getting him on the ground for a safety. And, anytime your defense scores, that's a bonus, But Dacus, as we said earlier, just had an outstanding game.
First 2 points of the year for us.
Absolutely. Here's Christian Coven getting great blocking up front of him. He goes untouched down the side, hits that sideline and gets it down inside the 10. But that's just a great job by the O-line of opening up a huge hole in there. You see that hole as a running back, you got to love it. And he does a great job seeing it and bursting through there and setting us up for another score. Tough run here by Daniel Dorsey. We miss a block up front here, and Dorsey just breaks a couple tackles here, makes a guy miss, breaks a tackle there, and just powers his way into the end zone. He don't look it, but he's a very physical runner, and he's going to definitely be a weapon for us offensively.
Yeah, I thought your heavy set looked good.
Yeah, they did. Some blocking assignments need to be cleaned up, but as far as just being physical, I thought they did a good job. Here again, Dacus, you see just blowing up the middle, forcing the running back to run into his own center in the backfield, and then De'Eric Jackson there to clean it up. If we can get that kind of penetration in the middle, it's going to be good for us defensively and tough for any offense. But again, Spencer, just a weapon for us on the defensive side of the ball. Here on the sprint out, sent a little pressure, guessed right. Javen Ash, young kid, misses the tackle, but great pursuit there. De'Eric Jackson coming in as the secondary force and cleaning that up. Javen got a lot of reps. He's going to be a really good player for us. Missed a couple tackles there where he had a chance for some big plays, but he's a 10th grader, so he's going to learn from that and definitely get better. But nice hit by De'Eric, cleaning it up. Offensively, we get here right before the half, I think. And, we do a good job of picking up their blitz up front. Our offensive line does a great job communicating here and enables A.J. to step up, make a nice throw on the outside. Bradley Wilson there breaking a tackle like we talked about, dragging people down and picking up those extra yards. And that's key for us. When you're not fast, you got to be able to break tackles and pick up those yards after catch. And I thought he did a good job there. Just an example of that. And then right before, you see another good run here by Shante Burney, I think. This is where A.J. pulls it. I thought Bernie had the ball on Friday night. A.J. pulls it, goes untouched into the end zone. You see a couple East Lawrence defenders chasing Bernie there, which tells us that A.J. did a great job with his fake, riding it in there. And Bernie did a great job, as you can see, really hitting the hole and that making it look like he's got the football and carrying it out and actually being tackled. But great job again by A.J. reading it and pulling it. Defensively, again, I thought we were really, really physical. Thought we flew to the ball here. Again, another wide run. You see Dre Bonner and Spencer Dacus both getting off blocks, and that's just a great hustle play. I mean, you got your nose guard tackling a kid out there around the numbers, and that's just effort. You know, a lot of those fat guys, they get in there, and they stop running when they see it goes away from them, but he does a great job. Another good run here by Daniel Dorsey right before the half, making guys miss, cutting it back. Stiff-arming people, breaking tackles, getting in the open field, and getting tackled down around the 5. I know he was upset, but he comes back and punches it in right here. A couple plays later, another good, tough run where he's breaking tackles and getting out into the end zone. And good to have that on the offensive side of the football. And, had a big lead at half going in, got the JV kids some reps. There's just a couple plays here with them. Want to get them a little notoriety. There's Lorenzo Turner, a tough runner. He's going to get some Friday night reps with the ones too. But we didn't run a lot of plays offensively in the first half with Dorsey and Bernie getting most of them, but Lorenzo did a good job when he was in there running. Keyshawn Walker here, a 10th grade defensive end, number 52, does a nice job here squeezing and disrupting some things. He squeezes, flies out there. We get a good job by the corner on the screen, Cam Robinson, and getting a tackle just inside the 1 yard line. Again, just good swarming defense, and that's our young kids. That's our JV guys in there. Thought they did a great job of flying to the football, reading their keys. A lot of times you get those young guys in there and they want to run up field, like it's rec league. But these guys did a great job. Got a chance for a safety here on the 1 yard line. Kids come in, make a nice play. Good wrap up there by Keyshawn. Jathan Willis, again, linebacker, or James Boston, linebacker flying in there, making a good play. And I'm really impressed with those young kids and how hard they played and their effort. And here's the big play by Appleby. We talked about those little 5 yard hitch and just catches it and just outruns people. And this is good for a young kid. Get some confidence, runs over a couple guys. Gets in the end zone, and he's excited, and he should be. Those young guys, they work hard all week at practice. When they get out there, they're going to play hard, and they're going to try and score, and they're going to try and do all the things that the varsity guys do. And you definitely want them having that kind of energy and doing those things. But overall, thought it was a really good game. Here's the last clip, I think, here. Good job by our kids Friday night offensively and defensively executing assignments. Here's Tyshawn Clark, another 10th grade running back, makes a nice cut there, lowers his shoulder, runs over a kid there. Those are things you look for. You want those young guys being physical, doing things the right way, but playing hard. And overall, a good win for our guys.
All right, well, Coach, you talk about younger kids buying into your scheme, to your system. You see that, like you say to younger kids on defense, they're not just running upfield. It's assignment football. And when you see it, you got to be encouraged.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways to play defense, a lot of different ways to do it successfully. Our way certainly isn't the best way. It's just the way that works for us.
Yes.
And a couple of things that we preach to those guys is, if you're a defensive lineman, you don't let offensive linemen go. We're going to hit a lineman every play. We're going to squeeze them. We're going to keep our linebackers free. We're going to do our job. If that means we squeeze and spill and the linebacker makes a tackle, well, that's what we're going to do. It's not all about you trying to run around blocks, making plays yourself. And then obviously, like we talked about last week, is we're going to fly to the football. If we don't swarm to the football, we're not going to be good no matter what we run on defense.
Hey, we're going to take a short break, come back and talk about Crisp County. Got to make a ride over there this Friday night, so we'll take a short break and be back and talk to Coach about that. Lawrence County's leader in hometown banking is Farmers State Bank. From our customer service professionals to our mortgage specialist or any of our professional lenders, we're committed to making banking as easy as FSB. Farmers State Bank, with locations in Dublin and Cadwell, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender. Stop by today and find out why we make banking as easy as FSB.
When you want effective, exceptional physical therapy and outstanding results, discover Rehab Advantage and Sports Medicine. When your doctor prescribes physical therapy, ask for Rehab Advantage and Sports Medicine. With over 3 decades of combined experience and a unique blend of leading-edge techniques and personal hands-on care, Rehab Advantage in Sports Medicine helps people of all ages and from all walks of life. Patients have been able to overcome pain and the impairments that go along with many ortho injuries and conditions. Rehab Advantage in Sports Medicine is committed to giving you the advanced care you need to a quick, safe return to a normal functioning life. Our veteran team of credited specialists in physical and occupational occupational therapies offer evidence-based manual physical therapy. So when your doctor prescribes physical therapy, ask for Rehab Advantage and Sports Medicine of Dublin. Call for an appointment today at 275-1800.
Slip into fun all summer long at the Southern Pines Water Park. Open Monday through Friday 10 till 6, Saturday and Sunday 8 till 6. The weather is hot, so cool off today in the lazy river, the splash pool, or the 6-lane lap pool, or squill into fun with the 20-foot water slide. Grab the kids, grab the family, and head on out to the Southern Pines Water Park in Dublin.
All right, welcome you back again. We're talking football with Coach McClain. And Coach McClain, I'd like to just maybe start out with, with Crisp County Cougars and what you're going to do there. Are they going to be a lot more physical than you faced last Friday?
Oh, they may be the, not to take anything away from anyone on our schedule, but they may be the most athletic and most talented team on our schedule this year. They returned most everybody back from a good football team last year. They're going to be athletic. They're going to be physical. They're going to be well coached. A lot of people are talking about them as a contender for the AAA state championship, and they're going to be a really good football team. For us to have a chance to win that game, we're going to have to play really, really well because they're going to be one of the toughest, if not the toughest, opponent we'll see this year.
All right, so Coach, let's start out on their offensive side, and let's talk about their quarterback and who's in the backfield.
They got a couple different guys that run it. They got a kid, number one, that's a very athletic kid, runs a lot of the power read stuff, doesn't throw it quite as well, but is dangerous with his legs, can break it at any moment. They got another kid back there that's more of a passer, so they're kind of a dual quarterback system, and he can run it as well, but he's going to pull it down and make those reads and make some nice passes. So they're a threat either way, and you got to know who's back there and what their strengths are, and you got to be sound in assignment football, or those guys can gas you.
Coach, if you're looking at what you got to work on so far, you feel like they'll throw the ball 30% of the time or more?
Well, I think they're going to want to run the ball if they can early, but they are not afraid to pull it down and throw it. I think the kid threw it like 24, 25 times last week, so they will chunk it. Their offensive line is huge. They're 300 to 330 across the line, all of them. So it'll be the biggest, toughest offensive line that we've seen in a while. So it's going to be a challenge. We're a little undersized on the defensive front, but we got kids that fight and that are scrappy. They're just not big kids, and so we're going to have to really dig deep and fight to hold our own against those guys.
Coach, when you looked at what they did last week, it sounded like they threw the ball a fair amount of time for sure, but did they try to run it outside? They like to run it outside first?
Yeah, they like to use their speed and get outside. They run a lot of power read, a lot of jet sweep stuff on the edge. We got to make sure we're flying to the football and we're containing those things. But they will run it up the gut. They got a good, tough running back who's not afraid to put his head down and run over some people inside. So offensively, they're a very tough football team.
Okay. All right, flip it around. Now, what they do on defense?
Well, the scary thing is, as good as they're on offense, they're probably better on defense. Definitely one of the best defenses we'll see. I compare them to the Mary Persons defense of a couple years ago that was just shutting everybody out. These guys are athletic. They're huge up front. They got some D1 guys on defense, great linebackers. They're well coached. They swarm to the football, and they get there angry. So they're a very, very good, solid football team all around. Not a lot of obvious weaknesses on that football team. It's going to be a great challenge for our guys. Yeah,
good, hard-nosed football. And like you say, a great challenge, an early challenge for you that doesn't count in region play, but, hey, you got to see it.
Right.
All right, now, Coach, if we're looking on to the secondary, how do we match up with height? Because, we do have some height this year with our receivers.
Yeah, our receivers are some guys that I think could be a matchup issue for anybody. But at the same time, we got to be physical out there. They're going to come up and press us, try and take away some of that, try and get in our face and disrupt routes. And our guys got to be able to get off block or get off press coverage, create a little separation, and use that height to an advantage.
Yeah. Coach, again, let's just recount any injury, anybody that we need to be looking that, may sit out.
Yeah, Devontae Royals is the only one right now, assuming we get through today's practice healthy. Yeah. But, he's got an AC sprain on the shoulder, and if he's still having pain or any discomfort, we'll go ahead and hold him out, let Jacob Holsey get the start, and go from there. That way, we don't want anything to compound early in the year and him to end up missing more games than he has to. So if he has to sit this Friday, I know he don't want to because he's a competitor, but if he has to sit this Friday, we're gonna hold him out.
Yeah. Coach, you got a little ride over to Crisp. I know you want to encourage fans to turn out for that. It's 7:30 kickoff, I'm sure.
Yeah, we definitely need all the support we can get. It's going to be a hostile environment, so, all of Raider Nation needs to get out and come over and support these guys. They've worked hard this offseason. I think they're excited about having a great year, and it really does them good to have that fan support.
Coach, we appreciate your time. We want to say, ladies and gentlemen, get in the vehicle, travel on over to Crisp County. Let's take on the Cougars in Raiders style, show up and support the Raiders. As always, we thank the coaches for what they do. If you see them out in the community, please support them, encourage them. They need all the help they can get and encouragement these young people do as well. Pat them on the back, let them know they're doing a great job. Thanks again, Coach.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.